Okay then, Raiders, we are back and we have got loads to go over today as they have finally managed to rectify a load of the mistakes happening inside of the game in terms of stability and the issues with the loadouts. So we're going to give you guys an update on that one coming from Embark Ocean. They've also now finally announced the winners to the latest competition, and the point of the game right now, with a few days left in the expedition, shows that players are making a lot of mistakes. We need to talk about this one because this one is actually pretty damn crucial if you guys are going on an expedition. Nonetheless, let's dive into what we've got happening. If you haven't already, smash that beautiful like button and subscribe with post notifications turned on. It'd be greatly appreciated. Make sure you check out our incredible sponsor, GamerSupps, a company that offer esports athletes and gamers alike with the most effective and healthy energy drink option. And if you use code CloudPlays at checkout, it will get you a cheeky discount. So what are you waiting for? Hit the link in the description. We have new bundles dropping all the time. And if you want to get involved with that giveaway, we are giving away a free copy of the game. Or if you've already got it, then, well, we'll give you Raider tokens instead. We're going to be announcing this one during the latest update that's coming next week, hopefully. So if you want to get involved with that, make sure you head down to the comment section and put in any kind of love heart and it'll enter you in. So with that being said, let's dive into the game and see what's happening right now in the world of Arc Raiders. So starting off yesterday, we reported that there were a load of server issues that were affecting so many players. The team was working tirelessly actually to get this one rectified, and late last night we actually saw that Embark Ocean updated their message stating that the servers are completely back up and running. They should be able to just jump back in and it shouldn't affect absolutely anything. On top of that, it seems that they've actually rectified the loadout stuff, as people have been losing stuff during the end of expeditions. You would essentially evac out, and then when you arrive back in Speranza, you'd have lost everything that you've just gone and got, and it would just never make a return. Apparently that is now rectified, and Embark Ocean has stated that you can go and use a free loadie real quick to check, but if everything should be now really good. So fingers crossed they've rectified that one, and that should now be sorted, as some people have lost a massive amount of stuff, which is infuriating, that's for sure. But unfortunately these things obviously do happen inside of gaming, and hopefully this is something they fix so that you don't have to experience that again. Moving on from that though, we did have the high exposure photo competition that they obviously posted up, and this one was a great one. My lord, actually, I looked through the photos and some of you guys are ridiculously incredible with taking photos inside of this game. I don't know how you do it, but it just looks absolutely astronomical. So this is the winners from the main postage. There is a few more on there. I won't showcase all of them. If you guys want to go and check it out, then I'll leave the link down in the comment section for that one. You can go over to the Arc Raiders Twitter page, as my lord, some of those images were definitely worth it. Now we got to talk about in-game though, because right now it seems that something really stupid is actually happening. Yes, we've got a few days left until the expedition, and obviously people are transferring their stash, trying to get rid of things such as blueprints, weapons, snap hooks, wolf packs, anything of value that you guys don't need to utilize for the expedition that you want to carry over into your next preload. And unfortunately, it's going wrong for a lot of players. This right here is over on Reddit that states, "This is the risk of you guys doing a stash transferred. I tried to define his teammate, but didn't respond," and this is exactly what they managed to find, with around 5 snap hooks, a array of wolf packs, load of different bobcats, and so much more. And there are so many different posts that are going up consistently showing everything that you guys are getting transferred over and getting taken out with, including bundles of blueprints. And when I say bundles of them, I mean bundles of them. Now, I don't quite understand how it is that they're falling in for this one. It doesn't take a genius to figure out that realistically you just need to go into dam with no map condition, make sure you've got a raider hatch key, and just ensure the fact that you're definitely in friendly lobbies. You pretty much spawn next to a hatch 9 times out of 10. So if you are trying to do the transfers and you are adamant that you are definitely going to do them, then I would make sure that you are under those circumstances. Because if you are not, you may well find yourself short a blueprint or two. Let me know in the comment section if you guys are doing the expedition in the next 48 hours, as we've only got 2 days remaining on that one. So let me know if you guys are partaking in that. And have you already successfully done your transfer of your stash, or is it something you're yet to do? Let me know in the comments. Moving on from that though, we've obviously got to talk about Marathon and how it is that it's affected the game. It was hilarious actually, because we found out yesterday that they had actually censored the words Arc Raiders, and then when it went public about it, they retracted it straight away. So you can now actually do that. And Marathon, the development team, actually posted up saying, "Hello, yes, Arc Raiders is awesome" to cakes, essentially showcasing that you can type Arc Raiders in the game. Now, Arc Raiders actually responded to them saying, "No matter if you're a runner or a raider, loot is loot. We'll save you a seat in the shuttle," which I thought just exactly shows how it is that Arc Raiders is as a development team, as a company, as people and individuals inside of that company. The fact that they were able to respond with, like, the most heartfelt response as well is absolutely incredible. One of the most humbling teams I think I've ever come across. Not only that, but Marathon actually is relatively good, and I don't really dislike it. We've got a big video coming up over the next few days about my main thoughts on the Marathon server slam that we've had so far. So make sure you stay tuned to that one, because I think you're kind of going to want to listen to it. But it is safe to say that Arc Raiders is likely to be absolutely okay after the launch of the Marathon game coming out next week. Moving on from that, though, we've got to talk about the Arc that has just recently released in the latest patch update, and everybody now has had a bit of time with it. What is it that you guys are thinking of the Firefly and the Comet? And I think that for me, personally, I think that I am not extremely excessively happy about them, if I'm completely honest. After a bit of time with them right at the beginning, it was really, really cool, and I actually really enjoyed the factor of how excruciatingly explosive those comets were. But I think that as time has kind of gone on with it, I think that it may well have been a little bit lacklustered for me. I think that the idea of what they look like seems too aesthetically similar to everything else that we've got. Now, I know that the Arc kind of run on a smooth and sleek styling, and I understand that, but I do think that we are probably due some new arcs that look completely different. I've seen some of you guys do some concept arts for, like, ones that look like a snake. I don't know about you, but that just sounds incredible to me. Overall, good to go up against, although not overly intuitive in terms of new innovation for Arc Raiders. That's just my 2 cents. Great fun, great addition, but still ready for some new content. Let me know in the comment section what you guys are thinking. And now that we're sat in this point between the expedition, PvP is running on a high rampant, and most players now are not bored, but are sat in a bit of a looping cycle of limbo, waiting for this expedition to go through so that they've got something to do. I don't know about you, but I've been sat at max level for so long, I cannot wait for this expedition, just so I've got a bit more of a purpose to actually play the game. I'm genuinely so excited to start back off at level 1 again. Let me know how you guys are feeling about everything, and talking about your opinions and how you're feeling, we've got to go over the top comments from the previous video where we spoke about the new skin and the devs dropping that hotfix. It didn't seem to do a massive amount, but it was nice to know that they are still working on it. You guys had a lot to say about it all the same, and primarily it had to do with Marathon, which doesn't surprise me in the slightest. But this first one right here from Dekid LRG states, playing Marathon made me realize I really enjoy Arc Raiders more than I thought. And I think that sometimes that actually does happen. And I think that sometimes you can play a game and enjoy a game and take it for granted, and then when you play some other games, you go, damn, I actually really enjoyed that. I think that that's generally how gaming works, is that once you get used to a game for so long, the easiest thing to do is complain about how it's not what you want it to be. Play a game that you genuinely don't enjoy, and all of a sudden that one becomes a little bit better. All I do say, though, is that Marathon is a bit of a subjective game, so make sure that you give it a bit of time. As I remember during the Arc Raiders server slam, a lot of people said the exact same stuff about that game as well. So make sure you do give things a bit of a chance, make sure. Moving on from that, this next one right here, coming from my mate Nick, which is a hilarious name for the record, states, I played Marathon for a few hours. I think Arc Raiders is safe. Now, I don't think that anything is going to come along and kill Arc Raiders. If I can introduce you guys to the way that the Battle Royale genre actually launched off, Fortnite came in and absolutely demonically destroyed the scene and took over absolutely everything, a lot like the way that Arc Raiders has. And then not long after that, we saw Apex Legends come through, and that actually now still to this day has quite a substantially sized player base, and there's room in the market for more than one inside of that genre. Now, yes, we could argue that Tarkov obviously is already an extraction shooter, but bringing in new games to the titles, especially with big names such as Bungie, could mean that it may well have a decent standing inside of the community. With hundreds of thousands of people still logging in on just Steam alone every single day, I think that the game should do okay. It's definitely got some turning points though, it needs fixing, but Arc Raiders is 1,000,000% the Fortnite inside of the extraction genre. I think it's going to be perfectly fine. Moving on from that, this final one right here states, I'm in for the long haul with Arc Raiders. Now, I think that we can all say these safely, that Arc Raiders is going to really do well in terms of how it can actually operate in the community, how it will actually function. Our biggest worry is how they'll go into new content moving forward, as what we are seeing is that other than maybe the map conditions, which they seem to be absolutely nailing, by the way, probably some of the best content the game has actually seen in terms of Cold Snap and the Hurricanes. My lord, it's the greatest content they've released. But releasing content is not their strongest suit, so I'm intrigued to see how it is that they go forward when it comes to all of that sort of stuff. Definitely intrigued. Let me know your opinions by the comments below. With that being said, let's dive into... With that being said, I want to say a massive thank you to all of you guys and all of your support over the most recent weeks. It's been incredible building this community inside of Outgraders, and I'm so happy that we're here. If you haven't already, make sure you hit the like button, subscribe, post notifications turned on. Appreciate your faces, and as always, I'll see you in the clouds.